is the calm before the storm, before Milton gets here. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday around close to 10 o'clock. You can see some really strange cloud formations in the sky. But it is eerily quiet in this neighborhood where there's still a lot of construction going on. But man, most of the workers are not here today. Hopefully they've secured all their building materials, but I do see a whole roof filled with shingles. And if they leave that up there, in fact, let's get documentation of that. There is a roof filled with shingles. Hope you can see that over there, but yeah, that is a roof filled with shingles. And I'm just gonna get documentation over that in case that stuff goes flying everywhere and destroys everything. We've had plenty of notice that this thing was coming. And yeah, it's important to prepare as much as you can. Man, you know, life is like that, man. You know, if you're a musician and you're playing gigs or doing whatever you do to survive, man, preparation is the key to being successful, man. You know, and it's the same thing with life, man. You know, we can always do more. You can always do more to prepare for things in life, and you can never be too prepared. You know, it is what it is. But, you know, it's the same thing with music. You know, learn the material, know who you're working with, know who you're playing for, knowing what they like, knowing what they don't like. You know, I'll ask people, I said, oh, so-and-so's on the gig? Okay, well, what's he like? Or who's the band leader? Well, what's the deal, man? Or, hey, this band is, it's like a revolving door. What's going on with this? And I'll try and figure out, like, what the deal is, what's going on. That's all preparation. And being down here in Florida, man, it's a new experience with these hurricanes and stuff. And we deliberately, when we came down here, we picked a place that was far inland, very far inland, so that, you know, we wouldn't really have to deal with this kind of thing. We wouldn't have to really worry about, you know, storm. But the reality is, you know, you just never know what's going to happen, man. You never know what's going to happen. So you just try to be prepared as best you can. And, you know, you can't always afford or get a generator right now. That's not something it's in our budget right now to get. So we have to hope that we're far enough inland that we're not going to lose power. And if we do lose power, man, we're going to tough it out. We got cans of tuna. And, you know, I've been poor lots of times in my life and had to eat whatever I had laying around. Wasn't always the best. And, you know, I'm used to roughing it, man. You know, riding around in a tour bus, eating Subway. You know, life is like camping sometimes. And that's the reality of it, man. You know, you don't know what's going to come at you. You got to just try to be as prepared as you can. And, you know, getting out here, getting some walking in, man. Haven't been able to do it the last 3 or 4 days because all this craziness going on and trying to get things done and, you know, trying to get ready for the storm and taking care of the family and taking care of the YouTube channel. And shout out to the Breakfast Club. You know, just trying to get everything done and trying to stay ahead of the curve. And that's the same thing with life, man. It's the same thing with music. You know, if you got a gig, man, you got to put new strings on your guitars. You got to make sure you know the material. You got to make sure all your devices are charged up. If you use anything like that, you got to make sure your batteries in your pedals or your power supply works. You need to test your pedal board and your amp and your guitar, everything before you put it in the car, man. There's been so many times where I'm like, I could just put it in the car. And then I think, nope, I'm gonna plug this stuff in. I'm gonna plug it in and I'm gonna give it a go. And I plug it in and give it a go. And sure enough, there's something going on. And I have to figure it out, man. And if you don't do that, you get to the gig and you realize something's wrong. And then not only do you have to figure it out, but you have to hope that it's a quick fix or something that you can easily take care of. So, man, you know, all we can do in life is prepare as best we can with what we have. You know, and if you've only got one guitar and you got to go play a gig, well, make sure you put some new strings on it so that you're not going to break a string and have to stop and make everybody wait for you to. I mean, yeah, you might be some guys are quick change artists and they can run a string up there and do all that. I'm not that guy. It takes me time, especially as you get older, man. If you noticed, let me know in the comments, us old guys, man, just getting the string through the hole through the tuner at the top of the headstock, man, it gets to be harder and harder to do as you get older. You're keeping your hands steady and keeping them focused to be able to do that. It's, you know, it's part of life. It's part of growing old. I'm enjoying the journey, enjoying, you know, not knowing exactly what's going to happen in life, just being ready as best you can. That's really all you can do. And man, you know, to everybody that watches my videos and helps this channel grow each day, man, I am so thankful for you. Thank you. It's coming from a place of gratitude. I don't have all the answers in life, but I know what I'm doing on this platform is helping people, and it's helping me too. And that's really the best thing I can do, man, is try to help people at this point in my life and learn from my mistakes. So if you younger guys watch my videos, man, learn from my mistakes, man. You know, I made a lot of mistakes in my career, and I'll continue to make mistakes in life. That's just part of life. That's part of living, is, you know, living and learning from what's, you know, what you're going through and what's going on, and, you know, being prepared for those twists and turns that life will throw at you. And, you know, that's the reality. But you know what? Each of you that watch these videos, I know it's helping you. I know it helps me. Man, this is a symbiotic relationship in that, man, we're just all guys with the music in our souls, song in our hearts, and we just love music. And man, you know, I can just hear or see or read a song title, and instantly it just takes me back. You know, I like so many different types of music, man. I'm a chameleon as far as music. I'm not a metal guitar player or a rock guitar player or a jazz guitar player. I'm just a guitar player. I don't really care what style of music it is. Man, if I get the call to go play, I'm happy. I'm happy. But now that my focus is now on YouTube and helping people and sharing my knowledge of this channel, you know, it's just an amazing thing. I'm so thankful for everybody tuning in. You know, we've got this crazy storm, and you wouldn't even know it by today, except for the eerie silence. Silence is the one thing that we try to avoid on stage. You know, I used to always say no dead air. So I would get calls to go lead a band, you know, and the manager or the owner of the band would say, hey man, Just make sure no dead air. Run the songs, boom, 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 you know. And this is working with bands that don't have set list. So you have literally, while you're playing a song, if you're the band leader, while you're playing a song, you're trying to think of the next song and what's going to work. You're looking at the audience, you're judging them. Do they have more energy left in them to keep dancing? Or do we need to slow it down? Or do we need to change styles? Are we playing too much R&B? Do we need to play some rock? You know, all of these things are what are going through your mind while you're playing the song that you're playing. And so being the band leader is not really an enviable position. It's never a position that I jockeyed for or wanted to be. I didn't want to be the man in charge unless the person in charge put me there. Because I know that heavy is the head that wears the crown. And, you know, I knew that if I was band leader, I would do more leading and less playing. And ultimately, I never wanted to be the band leader per se. I might have been band leader by default in some of my bands I was in, you know, because I maybe knew more about music than some of the guys I was playing with back in the day. But man, that is a heavy head, especially on a variety band or a top 40 band or corporate band gig. The type of bands that we had in Nashville with no set list, man, you're constantly thinking of the next song. You're constantly thinking, what do we need to play here? What's going to work? If the crowd's not dancing, you've got to figure out what's going to get them on the dance floor. And sometimes it's the obvious songs. Sometimes it's the not so obvious. And it's your job as band leader to figure that out. And, you know, I usually had a pretty easy time most of the time doing that. I could usually kind of guess what I think because I know as a listener, as somebody who's been in the audience a lot, that, you know, what I would want to hear. What do I want to hear right now? And I never once considered, well, I don't want to play Brown Eyed Girl, or I don't want to play Brick House, or I don't want to play Superstition, or any of these songs that we've all played a million times. You know, I get it. Some people are sick of it, sick of playing songs. No, I didn't care. As long as the audience was into it, man, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna play it to the best of my abilities, and I'm gonna rock that tired old song and try to put some new life into it. You know, you don't have to play Superstition exactly like the record. You could play it slow. You could play it fast. You can break it down to just the bass line and play a different guitar part. It's just a melody with lyrics. And yeah, it's got a killer clavinet part, and it's got, you know, the original version is amazing. But man, you can do a rearrangement of it. Add your own flair, add some of your own voicings to it, and breathe new life into these songs and melodies that people love and always respond to. So never diss a song. Never say, oh, I'll never play that, because you're being selfish if you're doing that. You know, play what the audience wants to hear. You're there to entertain people, not show them how great you are. Sure, you can show them how great you are by entertaining their pants off. You know, play your butt off, but entertain the crowd. If you've ever been a self-indulgent guitar player, and I certainly have, you learn that, man. Playing these millions of notes and sweep picking and doing all this stuff and all that, man, it gets boring for the audience after a while. And you'll start to clear out a club with just your incessant noodling. So make your solos just long enough to keep the excitement up, and give the singer a break so the singer can, you know, come back in and nail those vocals, continue to kill it the rest of the night, and be happy that you're playing music. You're prepared, you're alert, you're awake, you're sober, and you're ready to entertain people. Because let's face it, that's what it's all about. Thanks for watching.